It is that time of year. It's time to put on your running shoes and help save lives by running in the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. This event, of course, is the world's largest, most successful education and fundraising event for breast cancer ever created. And this morning we have a very special guest, Erin Ripplinger, here with her son, Josh. Erin was diagnosed stage 4 breast cancer, 23 years old. And she was pregnant. You were pregnant at the time with Josh.
I was.
Such an amazing story because you're both sitting here today, both healthy. You're cancer-free.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Such an amazing story of survival. Let's talk a little bit about when you were diagnosed. You didn't know you were pregnant at the time?
No. Like you said, I was 23. And I told the doctors that I possibly would be pregnant at the time, and they had put me off saying, oh, you're too young, it can't be cancer, you know, it's probably something else. And so we put it off, and then finally when they did catch it, they ran a test and it came back negative. So I went ahead with major reconstructive surgery.
They ran a pregnancy test and it came back negative.
Right. And so I went ahead with the major reconstructive surgery, and then I was through 5 doses of my chemo, and I suspected something was not right. So then they ran a pregnancy test and it came back positive, and I actually had been pregnant the whole time.
Oh my goodness. So what were your thoughts? Because you had a choice to make at that point.
Right. It was devastating because then they ran an ultrasound and said, we cannot see any amniotic fluid. We can't see any kidneys with the baby or a bladder. They couldn't tell if it was a boy or girl. And they said, really, you need to keep doing your radiation and treatments to survive. I had an 18-month-old daughter and my husband, and so they told us that if he didn't have amniotic fluid by week 28, his lungs wouldn't develop. So we made a choice to continue forward with my radiation. We shielded the baby, and then I would go in for non-stress tests every week. And at week 28 is when they noticed that my amniotic fluid was normal, that the baby had kidneys and bladder.
Miracle.
Yeah.
Josh, and you're here, sitting here healthy, 16 years old, almost 17, so it was that long ago, and you have survived, and you're such an inspiration for those women out there who, you know, sometimes don't have the hope. Right. You know, they think that breast cancer is a death sentence, and that's not the case.
No, it's not the case. I think it's, if you can set your mind to fighting it, and that there is hope, I mean, that's half the battle. Well,
Erin has such a great story. And you, by the way, people can meet you right before the race. You're doing a Zumba warm-up.
Correct. Yeah, I'm a Zumba instructor, and through where I work at Fitness on 7th, we raised a ton of money for Komen in the fall. And so they nominated me as the New Balance spokesperson. So I'll be there doing the warm-up at 8:15. The race starts at 9 o'clock, and registration's at 7.
If you're struggling and need someone to talk to, Erin will make for a great resource. Just sitting here talking to you, I'm inspired.
Thank you.
And your son too, Josh.
He'll be there.
It's so good to see you both. And
thank you.
Registration for the 20th annual Susan G. Komen Utah Race for the Cure still open, by the way. KomenUtah.org. Again, it's May 7th, Library Square, 7 a.m. And what time does the Zumba warm up start?
8:15, and I'll be sharing my story too.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Well, Erin, thanks so much, and Josh, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Such a great story of survival. Now we're going to send it to Andy Farnsworth to get a look at our traffic on this Monday.
Thanks, guys. They've reopened.